All right, we are just less than 2 weeks actually since Ryan Garcia pulled one of the biggest upsets of the last few years when he defeated Devin Haney by wait, that was a split decision, wasn't it? Wasn't it a bad card?
No, it was
unanimous. One of them was very close. Well, the point is, no one expected. A lot of people say no one expected for Ryan Garcia to perform the way he did, especially with what he was displaying on social media and all of the news that was coming out during camp. I remember last week, this was about last Wednesday or so, his father went and did a very long interview with Fight Hype. You can go watch it on their channel, where basically he confirmed all the rumors were true. And despite the win, we wish him the best. Ryan Garcia is still having some issues with substance abuse. But that's a feather in Ryan Garcia's cap, because even though he didn't make weight, we have to shed some light on that. He came in the ring huge. He's still unfocused and on the bottle. Went out there and beat the shit out of Devin Haney, dropping him multiple times. And some say he should have been stopped in round number 3. So now we have the 140-pound division is on fire. Now we don't know where Ryan Garcia is going to end up. He's saying that he wants to go to 147 because he can't make 140 anymore. After just getting to 140, after saying he couldn't make 135, my personal opinion is the lack of discipline outside the ring with all the extracurricular activities. That's where the weight issues are coming in for him. You know, if he was to cut all that stuff out, then he can compete at 140. So even though he says he wants to fight at 147, I see him staying at 140 because the money fights right now are still at 140 for him, especially if he wants to take David's rematch, which was at a catch weight the last fight. I don't think it should be if they fight again. But anyway, moving on. You have a fight now that didn't have too much buzz. Not really yet, but it's a much more meaningful fight in the 140-pound division. It's going to be taking place on June the 15th between IBF champion Subriel Matias, one of the boogeymen of the 140-pound division and in boxing as a whole, taking on Liam Paro, who's coming off a very spectacular win, a win that raised his profile, where he dominated Montana Love, depending on how you look at Montana Love. So, looking at the records, Subriel Matias 20-1 with 20 KOs, 32-year-old Puerto Rican. The fight's taking place in Puerto Rico on June the 15th on DAZN. And you have Liam Paro. Where's he at? There you go. 24-0 with 15 KOs, 28 wins. Only significant wins on his career are Brock Jarvis, and Brock Jarvis was at a division that he should have been in, meaning he was the smaller fighter, and then Montana Love, depending on how you rank him. But as far as Matias is concerned, Argashev, that was a very good fight, his last fight. Covered that fight where he was having issues earlier with the boxing, but eventually his power took over. Jeremiah's Ponce, he stopped him. Basically, he stopped everyone. And he had that unfortunate fight with Maxim Dadashev, in which I covered on the channel, where Maxim Dadashev lost his life during that fight. So, this is a very scary, powerful fighter. But now, to be very honest with the way boxing's been going, I think I'm not saying Paro's going to win. It's all going to depend on his chin. But from what and his conditioning, but from what I'm seeing from him, he does have a skill set. But how is it going to fare also going to Subriel's home court in fighting in Puerto Rico? So it's going to be on June the 15th. So far, we haven't got any news on the undercard. It's only May the 1st right now. Anybody down below in the comments, you probably know more than me at this point, as I'm still getting back in the swing of boxing. Let me know any rumors of any fights that you could possibly see on that card. But yeah, it's a very stacked division right now. Devin Haney is still the WBC champion, even though I felt he should have been stripped after losing to a lot of other organizations would have stripped him. But Isak Cruz, who's going to be taking on Jose Venezuela on that big time August the 3rd card against on the card of Terence Crawford versus Israel Madrimov, August the 3rd. You have Teofimo Lopez. He's returning in June, but we're waiting to see who he's going to fight, as he is linked to a fighter by the name of Steve Claggett. And you have three highly touted 140-pounders that I've covered all 3 fights on this channel that have been somewhat exposed in the last 3 weeks, with Jose Ramirez this last weekend against I forgot who he fight. Not Tomas Delorme. Oh, Francis Barthélemy, he didn't look good. You have Arnold Barboza, who fought a couple of weeks ago against Sean McComb on undercard of Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney. He didn't look good, and that's with the first fight in a long time. I call it a flat-out robbery. Sean McComb should have won. You had Richardson Hitchens, who also looked like shit against Gustavo Lemos. So those are, and right now, Liam Paro is in that group. Those guys, if you would have asked me 3 weeks ago, were a level, maybe two above Liam Paro, but now they're all in the same. We're just waiting to see what Gary Antoine Russell does, who's going to be taking on Edwin De Los Santos on June the 15th on that Tank Davis card. So what I'm saying is right now the 140-pound division seems to be up for grabs, and the top guys right now are Teofimo Lopez, Isaac Cruz, you can Devin Haney, and then you have Josh Taylor, Jack Catterall. We're still going to see how they're going to look. But Liam Paro right now, biggest fight of his career. I got to be honest, I'm giving the edge 60% to Subriel Matias, but Matias has shown vulnerabilities. And does Liam Paro have the boxing ability to keep to outbox or to keep Subriel Matias off of him? Your thoughts?
Yeah, I don't give him much chance of victory at all. I mean, I don't say that with any joy or anything like that, because obviously, I want the Australian to win. But I honestly believe that Liam Paro is going to get the absolute shit smacked out of him, right? And I hope his affairs are all in order, because I think he's going to get bashed and get bashed pretty bad. So Liam Paro has never really fought anyone, as you said, world class. I mean, his most notable win was Brock Jarvis. That was a complete bloody mismatch. That fight never should happen in the first place. And Brock Jarvis hasn't, I think he's done maybe one fight. He fought some taxi driver bloke, right? After that, there's been talks going around that he's actually in line for Nikita Zoo at 154. Wow. So, but with Liam, I give him, for starters, he's going to be fighting in Puerto Rico. So he's already 6 rounds down before the fight even starts.
Yeah.
So I give him virtually no chance of it. It'll be the upset of the year, right, if he pulls this off.
I think so. I think it would be a big upset.
For the last few years, 2 years running, we had the biggest upsets of the year. 21-22, Australians had the upset of the year. George against Lopez and Jai against Briedis. Yeah. So there's no reason why we can't do it again this year.
Yeah, one thing. Let me mention this about Matias. His only loss, he rematched Petros Ananian after he lost to him via unanimous decision, and then he stopped him in the rematch. So he stopped everyone, and he eventually only lost.
How many title fights has Matias had?
Matias, let me see.
It's got to be at least 4.
3. This will be his 4th.
3, okay. Yeah, and Liam's never had a world title fight, so I feel really sorry for him, because he should have been the WBC champion if he didn't get his ankle busted. He would have beat the absolute crap out of Regis Prograis. Yeah, and he should have the WBC title around his waist. But anyway.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, I forgot. He was with the fight Prograis.
Yeah, but he got Achilles heel problem. Him and Lim Wilson went down at the same time.
Yeah,
and that fucked that for him. And so he would be the 140 champ. Well, he would have probably got the title. How long he would have held on to it, I don't know. If he fought Devin probably would have outboxed him. But yeah, I don't really see him winning. I'm happy to be wrong. I'm more than happy to be wrong. But I see this going very badly for Liam and getting probably leveled badly. Yeah, and I say that with no joy at all.
There's no looking joy. At it, depending, let's say if he does win. The mandatory is IBF Richardson Hitchens. The way Richardson Hitchens
is shit out of him.
Yeah, the way it's looking right now, Richardson Hitchens, he's got some things he's got to work on. Devin Haney is rumored to be returning against Sandor Martin. That's his WBC mandatory. Of course, Isaac Cruz, WBA, is taking on Jose Rayo Venezuela, who's coming off of arguably the knockout of the year last year by stopping Chris Colbert. But his mandatory is that old man Ishmael Barroso, who a lot of people felt should have beat Rolly. and he also beat O'Hara Davies. So the WBA is kind of tied up right now. And then you have Teofimo Lopez. We're waiting to see what he's going to do. So I'm guessing, I'm assuming that if Paro does win, Matias maybe gets a rematch, depending. It may not be immediate, because sometimes I've noticed Matchroom, they try to stay away from immediate rematches where they'll have an interim fight and then they'll have a rematch. They do their rematches. We can say that. But they never just go right back into rematches. But there is the IBF mandatory right there with Richardson Hitchens. So it seems like the IBF is a bit tied up right now, and I can't see it being a unification just yet for that IBF. But to be honest, I'm rooting for Liam Paro. For some reason I've been watching, I've been thinking like, I think he got something. But with
he definitely does. He definitely
the
got
level of competition, we can't count Montana Love, because Montana Love was never that good. I've been covering Montana Love for the last 3+ years now, since he popped on the scene.
Mid-Carter at best. And that's at best.
Exactly. So, and Brock Jarvis is he fought at 118 pounds.
Exactly. So, yeah, Brock Jarvis is certainly not to go anything to scale. There was the bloke from Chile that he fought. He was half decent. But then again, you've got most of the guys that he fought were domestic guys, either weight drained from 147 or blown up lightweights.
Exactly. So we have nothing to really go off of, like to be like, I want to believe, but there's nothing for me to be like, he's gonna beat, Subriel Matias. It's nothing there for me to look at. Yeah, he looks like he has a skill set. Yes, he's got some power. Yes, the rounds. He did go, he hasn't gone more than 10 rounds, and he went 10 rounds with lower level competition back in 2021. Last time he went the distance, never been 12.
That's right. That's right.
So I want to believe that he can do it, but right now, as it stands, my prediction is Subriel Matias, and if Matias does win, it will be by knockout.
Yeah, absolutely.
In Puerto Rico too. Oh my gosh! So he's got, as you said, he's already 6 rounds down.
Exactly. As I said, if he pulls this off, it's the upset of the year, without a doubt.
Yeah.
Without a doubt.
Well, closing thoughts?
Well, I hope he gets in there and kicks the absolute shit out of old mate, but I don't see it happening.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm more than happy to be wrong. But there might be a 10% chance that we see the upset of the year done by an Aussie again.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, why the hell not? I'm happy to see it. But as I said, it's very unlikely that he'll be able to get the job done.
Okay.
But we'll see.
All right. With that being said, thanks for watching. Please subscribe. We're going to be very busy with Australian boxing over the next couple of weeks until Big J gets back from Loma versus Kambosos. So we still have a ton of fights to cover. So you can also expect a video from us on Opetaia versus Mairis Briedis 2, which is taking place in 17 days. So we got to start getting on the ball with that. And of course, Loma versus Kambosos. You have Andrew Maloney fight. Who's Andrew fighting again?
I don't know. Some bloke. Honestly, I don't know.
Hold on, let me look that up real
But it's
quick.
for, I think it's WBA interim title, or WBA eliminator or something.
Let me look that up. Pedro Guevara. Okay, all right, got you. For the WBC interim title. So yeah, we still have some plenty of Australian boxing to talk about. With that being said, thanks for watching. Please subscribe. Follow me on Twitter at TstreeT Controversy and Big J at Old Mate Big J. Thanks for watching.